Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Again, breathe in and breathe out. Let your jaw soften. Let your hands rest open. Let the noise of the day grow distant. There is nothing pressing now. Tonight we will rest inside Psalm 46. A psalm of refuge when everything shakes. A psalm that ends with a command so quiet it sounds like permission. Be still, and know that I am God. This is not a psalm of striving. It is a psalm of shelter. God is our fortress. God is our refuge and strength. You do not have to hold everything together tonight. You do not have to solve what the day left unsolved. The psalm will carry you. One steady line at a time. If your mind wanders, let it wander gently. If your body is still restless, let it settle in its own time. There is no rush here. The fortress holds whether you are awake or asleep. And as we enter this psalm, remember only this: God is your refuge. You are safe in His care. The psalm opens with a declaration, not a request. God is our refuge and strength. A very present help in trouble. Notice the order. The psalmist does not begin by describing the trouble. He begins by naming the refuge. Before the shaking is mentioned, the shelter is already standing. Refuge means a place you go when there is nowhere else to go. Not a last resort, but the truest resort. The place that was always meant to hold you. The place you were always meant to return to. And strength. Not your strength, gathered from effort and willpower, but a strength offered freely. The kind that meets you when your own has run out. A very present help. Not a distant help. Not a theoretical help. Not a help that might arrive eventually. Present. Here. Now. This is the foundation on which everything else in the psalm rests. Before the mountains shake. Before the waters roar. Before the nations rage. God is already here. The help is not coming. It is here. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. You can rest. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth gives way. Though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea. Though its waters roar and foam. Though the mountains tremble at its swelling. The psalmist does not pretend the shaking is not real. He names it plainly. The earth gives way. Mountains fall into the ocean. Waters roar. These are not small disturbances. The most stable things a person can imagine, solid ground, ancient mountains, are shown moving and breaking apart. The psalm takes the worst case and looks it in the face. And yet, we will not fear. Not because the danger is imaginary, but because the refuge is real. The ground may tremble, but the one who holds us does not tremble. There is a word the psalm places here, between the shaking and the next image. Selah. A pause. A rest in the music. Selah means something like, let that settle. Let the weight of what was just said land quietly in you. The earth gives way, and still, we will not fear. Let that settle now. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. You can rest. After the roaring waters, the psalm shifts to a different kind of water. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. In the middle of chaos, a river. Not a torrent. Not a flood. A river with streams. Gentle. Steady. Life-giving. The roaring sea outside cannot reach the city where God dwells. Inside the city there is only gladness. Inside the city there is only the quiet sound of flowing water. And then the psalm says something that feels like a hand placed gently on your chest. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. The city will not be shaken because God is not outside looking in. He is in the middle of it. He is in the center of the place where His people rest. God will help her when morning dawns. The help does not come at midnight in a panic. It comes at dawn, like light returning. Steady and certain. Picture that river now. Quiet water moving through a quiet city. God in the midst. Nothing shaken. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. You can rest. The nations rage. The kingdoms totter. He utters His voice, the earth melts. The psalm widens now from the natural world to the human world. Mountains shook earlier. Now it is kingdoms. Now it is nations in upheaval. The powerful things that people build, empires, systems, plans, all of them totter. But notice what stops the shaking. Not an army. Not a strategy. Not a negotiation. He utters His voice. One word from God changes everything. The earth that was shaking simply melts before His speaking. Not in destruction, but in submission. The way a fever breaks. The way a storm passes. The way tension leaves a room when the right person speaks. His voice is sovereign over every trembling thing. Over every anxious headline. Over every uncertain tomorrow. Over every worry you carried into this night. The nations may rage. But the one who speaks galaxies into being is not disturbed. His voice holds. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. You can rest. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. This refrain anchors the entire psalm. It appears twice, like a great beam holding up a roof. And each time it says the same two things. He is with us. He is our fortress. The Lord of hosts. That name means the God of angel armies. the God who commands all the forces of heaven. Not a local protector. Not a small comfort. The one who holds the stars in their courses is personally present with you tonight. And then the psalm calls him by another name. The God of Jacob. Jacob, who wrestled through the night at the Jabbok. Jacob, who limped into the morning with a new name and a blessing. Jacob, who was not perfect, not polished, not always faithful. And yet God called himself by Jacob's name. This is the God who stays with people who struggle, who meets them in the dark hours, who does not wait for them to be strong before he becomes their fortress. The God of angel armies is your fortress. The God who knew Jacob is your safe place. He is with you. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. You can rest. Come, behold the works of the Lord. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. God does not merely defend. He ends the conflict entirely. The weapons are not set aside for later. They are broken, shattered, burned. There is a finality to his peace that no treaty can match. And then comes the line the whole psalm has been moving toward. Be still, and know that I am God. Be still. Not try harder. Not figure it out. Not hold yourself together. Be still. The Hebrew word carries something like, let your hands drop. Stop striving. Release your grip. It is a command, but it sounds like permission. And know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. You do not have to make God great. He already is. You do not have to fight for his reputation. He will be exalted. Your only task tonight is to be still and let that truth hold you. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. God is our refuge. Be still and know. You are held. You can rest. Now the psalm can grow quiet in you. No new scene is needed. Only the steady truth. God is our refuge. The river flows gently. The fortress holds. The nations quiet. Be still. You do not need to strive. You do not need to prove. You are held. The earth shook, but the refuge stood. The waters roared, but the river was gentle. The nations raged, but one word from God was enough. You do not need to be the fortress. God is the fortress. You do not need to be strong enough. God is your strength. Let your breathing slow now. Let the words grow softer. Let the truth settle like water finding its level. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. The earth is quiet now. The waters are calm. The fortress stands. Be still and know. You are safe. You can let go. You can rest. Let there be less effort now. Less inner noise. Less holding on. The refuge is not something you build. It is something you enter. And you have already entered it. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. Your breathing can follow that truth. In and out. Held and safe. Quiet and still. The Lord of hosts is with you. You are held in the fortress of his care. You can rest. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest. God is our refuge. The fortress holds. Be still and know. You are held. You are safe. You can rest.